This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. Yeah, well, it took a minute there. I had one of those where it wasn't connected for some reason to my soundboard again, so I had to restart really quick. Oh, you hate when you go, I mean, you know what's amazing right now? There's how cheap TVs are now, like flat screen televisions. But I go and buy one because our one in the room broke, and the guy goes, yeah, get the headphones, you know, you just connect it to the RCA out.
Things off with a bang.
The problem is there isn't any RCA outs anymore on, you know, it just drives me nuts. So I got to figure something out. I might have to do like a digital audio to some sort of converter so I can listen through my headphones. I don't know. So I watch TV when my wife's sleeping. And thank you, Chrissy. That's right. Yeah, I made this pretty cool thing in the Delphi case. I've been trying to do it for a while, but I finally... I mean, it's using the same footage that you're seeing on top of the screen right there. Yeah, so it's really frustrating when they have you buy something and then you get home and it lacks some of the things that you need for some of the items they sold you or so. It just, God, it drives me crazy. So, all right. I think what I'll start off with is what I did on the Delphi. I go through that, and then we'll go over the other stuff, and then if people want to call in later, they can. As long as it's not about Garrett Kurtz. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I've been working on over here. You guys, we did it on the air one time, but I've spent a lot of extra time removing the black background so that it's just the image of it, and then you can place it on a screen. So let me show you. I might just use the full middle monitor here. That way it's bigger. Oh, look at my little guy's moving around right there. Alright, so you guys remember this. That's the same thing that's moving down in the corner there. But it had the black part there was actually part of each of the frames, right? So I removed that part. Oh, sweet. Stuff me. Okay, then I found one of the images that Beth took out there. And see, now you can see just the cropped image, because that's what is really each frame represents, right? And then I took a piece of that footage. Now, it's not perfectly lined up, but here, look how crazy this looks right here. Watch. See, just that little bit? And look how perfectly aligned it is. Like, she's almost in exactly the right spot. See that little white nodule that you can see right there that sticks out? That's actually just damaged railroad ties. See that? Here, watch this. Watch how, when he's walking, look how it immediately switches over on the actual video to that white nodule right there. Isn't that insane? And then, look at the forked tree back there. It's pretty much in the exact spot. It's just a little bit different type of lens. And another thing, too, I wanted you guys to see is this is how accurate this has been since the beginning. You see right there, there's this line, and then it goes up like that, like a fork. Can you guys see that? Like, it's not a perfect fork. It's like a half of a fork. So it goes like this, and then there's a line there, and then one right there, right? Well, watch how there's that exact... That's in the video with the bridge guy, right? But watch when you go right to the end. See how you can see it right there? That's exactly the same thing. So the way that Beth filmed it was almost absolutely perfect. It needs to be off the end of the bridge, maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet above the bridge, filming back out. I think that she needed to lower it just slightly, a little bit more, and that would have pushed this little half fork right there further. See, if you look at this one, it's almost perfectly lined up right there. Now watch, I'll turn it off, the layer, and see, it's just right there. It's almost right on top of it. See, it's a little bit, the problem is if it's not filmed at exactly the same angle, it'll push those lines back further. Okay, so that's that one. And then I have this one that actually has more of the bridge on there. Isn't that wild, though? It's like, man, you can almost see it. Don't go, oh, who are those people down there? That's just people that were there the same day that Beth was there, okay? But look how crazy that is. And look at, again, the overlay, the white nodule here, half of it is in the actual video of the bridge guy. And this is what me and Beth and everybody have known the whole time, that's exactly where he was, but you still get blowback from people. And then, you know what's funny is everybody now says, oh, it's obvious. Oh, it's obvious. Well, no, it really wasn't. It wasn't obvious at all to anybody until now, because it's common knowledge and everybody knows it now. All right, so here we go. This one's a little bit further off with that. See, that's right there. And then if I make it, it's right here, this part. So this one, she was moving the camera around at different angles. So we got that. Oh, let me turn it back on. It's crazy. And then I have another one here. This one I rotated so everybody's kind of vertical on this one. I know, Stacy, that's actually how it works. It's, everybody uses all of the stuff that I came up with at the beginning. It's in all the videos that people do, but credit was never given throughout the time by people like Greeno and others who just sort of spit it out there. So it never really, nobody realized the amount of, actual effort that I took early on really looking at this stuff. So don't you think, doesn't that just freaky looking right there? Look at how when the background image, here I'll do the loop, and the forked image of the actual suspect on the bridge. Watch this, watch. It's crazy. And the white nodules right there. Look at that. Boom. So this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I'll probably put out a video just with that part tomorrow. Because I think this is kind of, you might be able to even... well, here's one of the things that I did at the beginning that was confusing. See right here, the darkness? It almost seems like that was the height, but somebody pointed out that that's just the shadow, obviously. But I didn't realize that the shadow was actually creeping onto the bridge a little bit, so the actual height is more in there. So when Beth was out there filming, we don't know, I think it was around the same time, but the shadow could be different. And therefore it makes it look like it's higher than it would have been. Alright, now I have one last one here that is even crazier looking, because this one is kind of from the perspective of almost right off the end of the bridge there. I mean, don't you think that's just absolutely nuts right there? Yeah, it's wild. And look at the forked tree out. Perfectly overlaps it back there, and the platform. Forked tree, platform, and the white nodule. Yeah. So instead of watching this channel, you should go over and watch the ones that zoom in on pixels on the ground and claim they're bunny rabbits and stuffed animals. Okay, those are the ones that really deserve the views. Hey, thanks, Stacey. I think that it's just crazy looking. I'd love to have the exact angle. Then you would know if you could get it, but it's close. I've always said see this right rail. You need to be in about a foot, and then a little bit lower, and you'd have it perfect. That way, the white nodule would be a little bit more narrow. And it's not even a. It's not really a white nodule. It's just destructed side rail. Yeah, well, this is the Delphi case, retired Sergeant Linda. Should be recognizable, just showing up. And it gives you a perspective. You can almost get a feel for his height if you can really dial that in. Like you could, what I would do is I've done it actually. That's why I came up with between 5'6" and 5'8". I think these are it's 6'6" from this side to the inside to inside here. I think, if my memory is correct. And then what I did was I took him, slid him over to the edge, and then rotated him over, and then put sort of these grids in there that represent a portion of the height, and then that's how I came up with how tall he was, just using that. But I have to be honest. I mean, it's right there, but if it's off just a little bit, that could make 2 or 3 inches difference. Yeah, and it's sort of interesting too, because when you think that, like right there, that's part of either, maybe even, I've thought maybe that was part of Abby. I know she's still on the bridge, but that could actually just be part of Libby's pants or something. Hey, thanks, Claudia Neubauer. Yeah. So I think it'd be cool if they would release something like this, this one, out to the public, because then you'd actually get to see the overall look of the person and how they move. It's a little bit kind of swaying around. I mean, obviously stepping over stuff, but talking about the size is different? I don't know what you're talking about. I just took the exact same video that was released by the police, and then I lined everything up by the platform. You know, I make sure that the fork tree, the platform, were all lined up on each of the frames, which they didn't do. And then because I did that, I was then able to place it on a existing photograph that Beth took on the bridge in March of 2017, just weeks after. Okay, so I found one that looked the closest, and that's what I used. You know, the actual video looks like this. Let me turn off the frame hold. So this is what the video looked like. You know, she was just sort of moving the camera around, and you know, I think right there is probably, that could even be a better one to use, to be honest with you. Right there. I'd keep going, yeah, maybe even that one. So I might even try to slide it over
growing
that
heart,
one.
growing heart, love to all the freaks, growing heart.
Yeah, so it'd be cool to see it from this distance, because this is, well, actually it's not. Watch. So the video that Libby probably took is that big. I mean, the problem is that's why it doesn't look clear, and that's why when you get clowns out there that think that they're looking in on a pimple on his face, it just isn't happening. All right, so that's what a full video would look like, and you can imagine how small. There's the white nodule way back there, and the FBI enhanced it as well as they could, and he's about right in this area, and it's just not, you're just not able to zoom in and get a clear look at a face. All right. Thanks, Jessica Terry. Oh, and Miss Gus. Yeah. So, and then look how zoomed in we are, and he's still small, right? So picture that. And that's the last platform, which is this one. And so look how much that's zoomed in, and he's still little.
Thank you for all your hard work and making sure the clowns get put in their place, Gray.
Yeah, well, I always feel like it's a duty, and the reason I feel like I have to go to these other channels and say, hey, what in the hell is this, is because none of the people in the comments are doing it. It's like they think it's really good. Oh, wow, ooh, I see something. It's crazy. It's Looney Tunes is what it is. Yes, we can all see, from the helicopters up in the air. You can, a couple times you can see forensic guys walking around, but you can't see bodies. Okay, I just want to ease everybody's mind out there that when you're watching those videos, one of them claims they back engineered the audio files that were released to take away the encryption. As if. Like the FBI, why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just release the portion of audio of the rich guy talking? Instead of, we're going to keep all of it there, but we're going to encrypt it in between. And you somehow back engineered it and heard all these different things. Of course, they hear things like, they said sheriff and all these other terms, because they want to make it look like, the sheriff might have something to do with it. Okay, so just be rest assured that that's all completely bullshit, everybody. And everybody out there listening to that audio or watching the videos where they're zooming in on helicopter footage and pretending they see teddy bears and the bodies on the ground are absolutely full of crap. Okay, and they always say, "Hey, I got more information. I don't care about it." What I'd really like you to do is take all the time that you spent wasted on that and come up with something useful for mankind. It's just, it's all about the views, you know. Right, that's exactly right, Stacy. You know, somebody was talking to me, they go, oh, this one girl, she's, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a shame, right? How their channel just took off like a meteor, and yours would too, Gray. If you were just more like this and more like that. And I go, no, it would have taken off if I covered the Morphew case every day and pretended it was a big deal, covered the Watts case every day, and covered the, you know, all these other cases that are huge every single day, and become a sub miner where you literally are looking only for subs and views, and that's it. Okay, I just put out stuff one that's actually something useful, and or maybe it's been a while, like in the Delphi case, right? This is something I've been working on for a while here. There's still one more thing that I wanted to make. It's like every single frame of it, but you keep the frame behind it there, and then it does add more on there. But this is actually more useful than that was going to be, I think. I think this is, you know, one of the better things that's out there on the Delphi. Just right here is one of the best things on the Delphi case that's out there. Right then when you were just watching that. And, you know, of course, that's my opinion. But, you know, I watch all the stuff that's out there, and this is an actual real image of the real bridge at almost exactly the right angle. Yeah. Yeah. Here's what I wish. I wish I could get a hold of the actual video. I just really think I could do something with it. I mean, I haven't seen it or anything. There might be not much to it or anything. It just feels like I could. You know. Yeah. That's just so crazy. You know, especially this shot right here where it's everything's upright. Full shot of the bridge, and they just cropped out that little part. So you got to realize that in this area, they're, you know, Abby's probably still walking around, but they don't want her in there, so they just cropped out the little bit that they could. And I think her camera was moving quite a bit. That's why there's some really blurry shots, and they did whatever they could to kind of keep it clear. Yeah, I might send it in, but the thing is they, you know, they've got the actual video. I don't know if they've done this. I don't know what you know, why they need it or anything. I think this is just something where it just shows you the perspective. You can kind of see how he walks on there, especially in the first part right there. That's full speed. This is half speed, and then the next one is a quarter. I think that it's lined up the best on this one here, though, with the lines and the... It's really short, but... Yeah, now see how narrow, small that is? See, that's what you get if you're a little bit more to the center. See, right there, it's right on it. I thought that was crazy, this white nodule. And then right when I put the overlay on it, matched up the rails, boom, look at how that white nodule just shows up right in the actual video. Really crazy stuff. Yeah, no, it's weird. Yeah. It's kind of a creepy feeling. So what I'll do is I'll probably put all three of those together and just kind of create like a little bit of a loop and explain it and make a video, maybe tomorrow. So, all right. So maybe we'll go back later at the end and discuss these. All right. So I'm going to go cover these other cases. I don't know how long that'll take. Maybe not that long. And then maybe people can call in. We can, do a little call-in Delphi case, even though that's usually when the trolls like to call in. But who cares? They call in all the time. All right. So some of these don't really have that much information in it, but I was going to talk about this case, Mary Scott. This is a cold case from 1969, and here we go. A San Diego go-go dancer is raped and slain. A go-go dancer was found strangled in her apartment with its door broken open and furniture strewn about, police said today. The nude body of Mary Scott, 24, was found Thursday night, sprawled on her back. Earlier, neighbors said they heard screams. The body was found by another dancer at the Star and Garter Club, worried that Miss Scott was missing for a show. Another employee said Miss Scott had left at 2:15 a.m. to walk home that morning. Police Lieutenant Ed Stevens said the attractive red-haired dancer was sexually assaulted. This is in California, San Diego area. 1969. Then 1970, January 6th. Violent crime shot up last year in San Diego at a rapid rate, a record 40 killings compared with 26 in 1968 and 16 on the average for the 6 years before. The figures for 1969, made public by Detective Captain William Shinnick, listed a record 843 robberies, an increase of 40% in a year, 14% more auto thefts, and then unsolved are the strangling of Mary Scott, 24, November 20th, the fatal stabbing of Pamela Glockner, 19, December 19th, and the fatal shooting of a bystander by a street gunman who wounded several others November 23rd. All right, then that same year in November, saleswoman 21 raped, killed in San Diego. The rape, strangulation of a young woman selling encyclopedias, which is weird because we had that case just like last year, I believe, with the girl that was selling something like that. I can't remember, and she was abducted off her bicycle and she escaped by jumping out a window, and they eventually arrested that person, but she definitely would have been dead. The seventh unsolved attack in the same section of East San Diego since March left residents fearful, and let's see, look at how many that is. The seventh unsolved attack in the same section of East San Diego. I wouldn't open my door if it was God himself, a college co-ed told police before finally admitting a homicide detective investigating the death of Diane Bristol, 21. Miss Bristol, by admitting him in to the house. Miss Bristol was slain in the murky fog Tuesday night. Her body was found sprawled in a driveway. It was exactly a mile away a year after Mary Scott, 24, a red-haired go-go dancer, was strangled by a man who forced his way into her apartment. Terry Thompson, a friend of Miss Bristol, called her the most beautiful person I've ever known. Yeah, so Miss Bristol, and so there were 7 different attacks similar to that. And then, here we go. Isn't that amazing? I guess this came out 2 days ago, but 75-year-old Lehigh County man arrested in connection with California cold case homicide. Pennsylvania State Police have arrested 75-year-old Lehigh County man in connection with a cold case homicide in California. State Police spokesperson Nathan T. Barnowski said John S. Sipos was arrested without incident Saturday afternoon at his home in the 5200 block of Cobber Road in North Whitehall Township. Yeah, I should probably look that up. Hold on. John... Oh, that's so it is John J. I found his name in the paper quite a few times. Not for anything like that, but just sort of interesting little... John J. Sipos. And this is in Pennsylvania. And it says how old? 75. Okay, there he is, 75. And here he is. I got his house. Look at that. And isn't this amazing? How many times have I said on here that the killers either stay right where they killed people, or they move about as far away as possible. I mean, look where San Diego is, down in this area. And then he moves all the way over here on the East Coast, and not even in a city, but in a rural area. It's just the same. It's amazing. Now look at that. There's even street view on his house. Isn't that weird? Insane. Bernowski said Sunday Sipos was wanted on a cold case homicide warrant from San Diego County Sheriff's Department. He was taken to Lehigh County Jail. Attorney John Waldron said he represents Sipos, but doesn't have any information about the charges Sipos faces. Waldron said he has not had an opportunity to speak with Sipos because he is in a quarantine under the jail's COVID-19 safety protocol. Waldron said he has spoken to Sipos' wife, who said he was based in San Diego when he served in the U.S. Navy as a young man. Officials in San Diego could not provide further information on Sunday. That means they had his DNA that whole time, I guarantee it. I mean, I'd be shocked if it wasn't from that.
'69 murder of a woman in City Heights. Police arrested 75-year-old John Sipos in Pennsylvania after San Diego police issued a warrant for his arrest. Mary Scott was found dead in her home on 39th Street on November 20th, 1969. The case went cold, but San Diego police identified Sipos as the suspect using forensic genealogy. Sipos was reportedly based here in San Diego when he served in the Navy.
A 75-year-old man was arrested for murder. Let's see. Police said Mary Scott, 24 years old, when her body was found behind her home in the 4,000 block.
A tiger has died at Lions, Tigers, and Bears in Alpine. Our Phil Blauer is at the news feed with the details. Phil.
Yeah, Maria, this is a very sad story. 7-year-old Maverick that you...
Okay. Investigators from the Cold Case Unit at San Diego Police Department and San Diego District Attorney's Office evaluated the case and developed a possible suspect using forensic genealogy. There you go. Yeah, that's incredible. 1969, somebody had enough foresight or they stored her belongings so well that you could still get DNA after all these years. Police haven't released the motive. Well, here's the thing. You know, when we were looking in those newspaper.com article, this one right here, saleswoman 21 rape kill, they mentioned all these other 7 similar attacks in that same area. Could he be a possible serial killer? I mean, you know, we always say, could he be this, could he be that? Sure, you know. But I mean, it's right in that area in the same time. And then all of a sudden he's way over there in Pennsylvania. I think they need to be looking into almost every single death that's even similar to that at all in that area, or go back into, or like, when did he move to Philadelphia? Where was he living? If he was in the military, all the different places he lived, were there similar killings? Because this isn't one of those one-timer types, right? I don't think so. Just doesn't seem like it. And that's her right there. Very, she was very pretty. Very pretty eyes. I'd like to see what he looks like. Mary Scott, 23, died in 1969. Forensic genealogy led police to arrest 75-year-old John Sipos of Pennsylvania. The killer kicked in the door. The young mother fought hard. Neighbors heard screams. When Mary Scott missed work the next day, November 20th, a friend went to her neatly kept City Heights apartment. She found furniture overturned, chairs flipped, and ashtrays smashed. Scott was nude on the living room floor, her nightgown ripped off. She had been raped and strangled. Jeez. It was dark outside when two detectives in suits knocked on the door of her family Claremont home just shy of 51 years ago. Scott's then teenage sister, Rosalie Sands, said her parents accepted the tragic news and abruptly closed the door on the men. Sands is 67 now. Over the weekend, she received news that left her boyfriend thrilled. A suspect was in custody. Why would it leave her boyfriend? I don't get. Wait, left her. Quote. Oh, beyond. It doesn't say be a boyfriend. My God. Oh man, my eyes are really shitty. I gotta get some new glasses or something. I'm just like, everything's kind of blurry. I think I need to move up to a 2.0 now instead of 1.7. I have 1.5s on, and then I tried 1.75. I'm gonna be looking like Bubbles on Trailer Park Boys pretty soon. Yeah, there's gonna be like, yeah, exactly like Coke bottles. And if you're wondering who the hell I'm talking about, yeah, that's what I'm going to look like pretty soon. Okay, just like that. Yeah, it's going to be good times. Let's see. Where was that part? There it is. San Diego police announced Tuesday they'd arrested 75-year-old Pennsylvania man on suspicion of murder in Scott's killing. John Sipos was taken into custody Saturday at his home in Schnecksville, not far from Allentown on the east side of the state. Hey, thank you, Juju Positive. Yeah, thanks to the 4 of you who liked the stream. I guess we're up to 100 now. Okay, let's go ahead and hit that like button really quick and help out the channels who actually do cover true crime and not the teddy bears in the woods and audio that doesn't exist. And the same case over and over and over and over again.
Thanks to the 4 of you who liked the stream. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
I see 117 right now. Oh, I don't know. I don't see any. I know. It's just... And then there's an excuse like, well, there's... You know, they're using a wide-angle lens, and therefore it may... Wait, no, dude. It's not a teddy bear, okay? I just showed you a teddy bear made out of popcorn on my show the other night. Okay, Sipos remained jailed in Lehigh County, Pennsylvania on Tuesday and was awaiting extradition. Police say Scott's killer left behind DNA evidence that, coupled with forensic genealogy, helped lead them to Sipos. Forensic genealogy or genetic genealogy has become a go-to method, of course. I think it's the #1 cold case solving mechanism for, well, just any case that had any sort of viable DNA at all. It's just absolutely perfect. I mean, I would be right on top. There's so many cases, though. Let's see. In March 2019, detectives announced they'd solved the 1979 killing of Barbara Becker, a La Jolla woman, slain during a midday burglary gone awry. Her young sons came home from school and found her body. In the Becker case, the suspect died in the mid-1990s. Isn't that one we've talked about? Barbara Becker? Why does that sound... No, maybe not. Yeah, it just sounded familiar. Police did not disclose much detail about the case, but Sands said she was told that back in 1969, Sipos was living in San Diego and had recently gotten out of the Navy when Scott was killed. I wonder when he moved to Pennsylvania. Let's see. In the mid-1960s, Scott married at 17. See, I thought I saw that in the paper. And later became a mother of 2 girls within a few years. She separated from her husband, a Navy sailor from Louisiana. The San Diego native worked as a cocktail waitress and later as a go-go dancer at Star and Garter, a club 3 blocks from her bottom floor apartment on 39th Street near University Avenue. Finding childcare was difficult for the single mother, and she eventually left her young girls with her husband's family. Scott's young daughter, Donna Weibel, is now 55 years old.
To Bubbles
That's
and
crazy.
feline friend Steve French.
I mean, she was buried my same year. Hey, thank you, Swerbs. And Layla, my Layla.
Thanks, Layla, my Layla. Yay!
Thanks for all you do for justice.
I appreciate it. Thank you. To Bubbles and feline friends. Oh, here we go. I get so many calls that come through a phone that can't be for me personally. Let me see. It's unreal because it's so many years that we wanted this solved, said Weibel, who still lives in Louisiana. So let's see. Hold on. Weibel's older sister, Christine, died in 1993 in a car crash. She was 25 and a mother of 2 boys. So it looks like Donna Weibel was one of Scott's kids. She's 55, probably born the same year I was. She has one memory of her mother. She remembers being in a small bed in the apartment and seeing a cardboard fireplace, presents, and a Christmas tree. Weibel's older sister, Christine, died in 1993 in a car crash. She was 25 and a mother of 2 boys. Weibel said news of an arrest and her mother's killing left her totally in shock. It's unreal because it's so many years that we've wanted this solved, said Weibel, who still lives in Louisiana. I wish my sister was here to see it. Scott was the oldest 6 siblings. Sands was the baby of the family. Scott always called her Pumpkin and is the only surviving sibling. That's crazy. So they got this guy after 75 years. He looks like almost like a movie star, you know. Well, it doesn't matter what part of Louisiana. This happened in San Diego. That's just where her sister lives. It's not really that important. Let me look up this guy again, though. Well, there's actually a few people with his name, so it's pretty tough. Let's see, where does he live? I guess we don't really know how long he lived in this area. and he's 75, so his active years were probably, he was probably done doing all the stuff that he's doing probably in 1990s, early 90s probably. So you'd have to find some things that are pretty similar. All right. Well, that's all there is on that, but good news. They made an arrest there. If you guys see any updates on it, let me know. They didn't have much in the paper back then. That's for damn sure. Oh yeah, there was something that 3 people have sent me now. That there is a pretty creepy thing, if you think about it. Like there was a skull found on a fireplace mantle. And, you know, this guy just had it up there. Like, oh, he found a skull. I mean, you know, let me ask you this, though. Like, if you found a skull out there, would you think to yourself, oh, cool, man, I can put this on my mantle? Or would you literally think, shit, this is somebody's head, and maybe I should call the authorities? I don't know. Just a thought. A skull found and put on a man's fireplace mantle has been identified as that of a missing Tennessee man, according to District Attorney General Russell Johnson, as in Johnson, you know, that sounds like something from Art Bell. The Morgan County Sheriff's Office retrieved the skull sporting sunglasses. So not only was it a skull, he was putting sunglasses on it and chuckling up a storm after being told about it. So he went and got it. The sheriff went and got it after being told about it. The person in possession of the skull said it was found in March 2019 by an individual in the Gobi area. Wow. So even that person didn't turn it in, and you didn't turn it in. So now there's 2 people. A DNA test by the Knox County Regional Forensic Center and the University of Tennessee Department of Anthropology found it belonged to... You know what's weird is when the person found the skull, normally you call the police and then there's a newspaper article generated, cops are out, you know, all kinds of stuff going on because it says body found in woods. But in this case, the guy looked down and said, oh wow, look at, there's a head there. Wouldn't that look great on my mantle? Or hell, let me pick this up. I'm sure I can find somebody that would love this. I want to know how that conversation went. You know, the guy finds it, and then this other guy says, let's see. Retrieved the skull, reporting after being told about it. The person in possession of the skull said it was found in March 2019 by an individual in the Gobi area. Well, who's that? That's a little bit suspicious sounding, actually. I mean... So you're in the Gobi area, and this other guy found a head, and he gave it to you, and that's sort of, you know, did he tell you where he got it and why he collected it? And I don't know. If I was the police, I'd be suspicious now of either that guy or the guy in the Gobi area, because that's just too unusual. Nobody does that shit, you know. And then obviously, it sounds like the district attorney was told about it, that there was, hey, you know what? This guy named Jim down the street, he's got a human skull on his mantle. And he even has some sunglasses on it. Man, that guy should be put in jail just for being an idiot. You're getting close to the dismemberment deal that I talk about often. Morgan County Sheriff Wayne Potter is requesting that anyone with information related to McGann's death or other persons who remain missing. Okay, so Russell Johnson tweeted out, I guess. Oh, there he is. Human skull discovered sitting on fireplace mantle for over a year and sporting sunglasses. Positively identified as a man missing in Morgan County since 2012. The Morgan County Sheriff's Office has been informed that a positive identification through DNA testing performed by Knox County Regional Forensic Center and the UT, I don't know if that's University of, where is this at? Tennessee. University of Tennessee Department of Anthropology has been made of a human skull that was found allegedly in March of 2019. See how they use allegedly? By an individual in the Gobi area of Morgan County. Someone subsequently placed the skull on a fireplace mantel where a pair of sunglasses were added. The skull remained there until the sheriff's office was informed of its existence. Well, those people won't be being invited over ever again to that guy's house. He's going to be suspicious of all his buddies for narking. The MCSO retrieved the skull and sent it for testing using DNA from family members of Junior Willie McCann, who has been missing since September 2012. The DNA from the family members and the skull were a match. An extensive search was made at the time of the skull being taken into custody by MCSO of the area where the skull had been found, so they must have actually located the person in Gobi. Speculation and rumor has been that Junior Willie McCann was possibly killed by a family member who is now deceased as well. Regardless, Morgan County Sheriff Wayne Potter has requested that anyone with information related to Junior Willie McGann or other persons who remain missing, please contact the Morgan County Sheriff's Office at 423-346-6262. So let's see if I switch the settings over here on Google to anytime. So I'm just going to go back, just pick any dates and then mess with them right here. 2012, 01, 01, and then just there, for example. So let's still pick that one up. Is this not him? I think that's something different. Wait, what the hell is this? How old is that article? Because this article's from, well, that says 14 hours ago. But the, a skull on a fireplace mantle and wearing glasses wasn't a Halloween decoration. The skull was real.
Identified a skull on someone's fireplace mantle as a missing Morgan County man. Officials say Junior Will McCain had been missing since 2012.
It's
The
like
District Attorney
McCann.
General Russell Johnson says the skull was on an unidentified person's mantle wearing a pair of sunglasses. Johnson says the skull was allegedly found in March of 2019 before it was placed on the mantle. Investigators used DNA testing to confirm it was McCann. Johnson says McCann may have been killed by a family member who is now also dead.
That's just, you know, I don't really understand that one, to be honest with you. I'm just trying to make sense of both people. There's two people here that are total morons. The guy who found the head. I don't think we've heard the whole story here. I think there's something else going on. I really do. I actually wouldn't be shocked at all if the person who has the head on the mantle isn't the person who, you know, I don't know. Well, you know, here's the thing is they think a family member killed him. So, I don't know. They could just be depraved human beings. But it wouldn't shock me a bit if one of the two had something to do with it originally. Because who the hell does that? I mean, what a perfect way to hide it, too, you know? Well, it's not really that perfect. You know, you put it on a mantle and people come into your house and go, hey, psycho. I mean, he must have told a story at one point, letting him know that it was real. Instead of just saying, oh, it's just a gimmick prop. Yeah. Jeez. But it could be a good way to, like, and then pass the buck on to somebody else. But why not just, you know, the one thing I never understood is, here's how you hide something. You take a pair, you know those things that you dig posts with? Okay, if I was a killer, I mean, I'm not trying to help people out here. I'm just saying, those little devices that you dig posts with, where you push down and then you dig and you pull it out. Yeah, you dig down about 3 feet, put in your gun, put in your thing, and then pack the dirt back in there. Fill it over the top, make it look normal. Put a rock on it. Put some flowers around. Nope, nobody will ever find that thing. But instead, people always throw it in a river, throw it in a field, throw it into here, throw it into there. You know, it's wild. I'm just trying to say, I think it's funny how these people, all their shit's found. It's crazy. It's wild. Idiot. They must not watch 1 minute of Forensic Files or something. Yes, everybody. So, if you haven't watched this show very often, and what we do at the end of each month, see, what I do is I raise money on this channel from super chats, channel memberships, and very few ads. You know, I think the revenue is like $300 a month from ads. It's ludicrous. And so basically all the revenue is from the channel membership and super chats. And then at the end of the month, and I even show it on screen, everybody, for those skeptical people out there, is that I donate a big portion to charity. Okay? And so far, for those of you, you can even go back and watch these shows at the end of each month. So far this month, we've donated $15,500 to various charities, including the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, $2,100, FirstResponders.org, $1,000, Texas EquiSearch, $5,000, the Innocence Project, $900, the Kyron Horman Foundation, $2,700, that was for Allison Watterson, and then the Wounded Blue Fund, $500, and the DNA Doe Project, $2,300, and then RAIN, which is for violence against women, $1,000. And so that's where we're at now. We're going to give more to RAIN this month, violence against women, and they also do the backlog on rape kit testing. So there you go. So yes, while your donations and everything help support my channel, a large portion goes there, so you can always feel like you're doing good two ways. You're helping me out, and we're helping out these charities. I hope to be able to continue to do it the same amount next year. Would be sweet.
Let's start a freak wakeboard
Hey, wow,
and
thank you,
surfing.
Chrissy, Audio Cast Me Nurses Rock, Linda Howe, Mary Wood, and Lee D. The Bail Denied Fund. Man. Gonna have to have that kept separately on the side. Hey, thanks, Juju Positive. And Lee D. Mary Wood, thank you. Very, very kind there. Yep, and we'll be moving on to the next case here in a minute. And then we'll get back to the Delphi videos again.
Let's get started.
Wow,
Dollar
thanks, June
hearts.
Fish. Just because I'm me. Wow. See, some people don't mind that I'm me. I don't mind that I'm me. Thanks, Berserker Loci. Yes, and that's going to be a cat eye donation. Here we go. I think it's... Where does it show up now?
Bail denied fund.
Thank you, Rebel Rose. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to try to do another...
Collision.
Get us up to 18. Oh, there you go. See, I wasn't paying attention, and... It's always out of order, too. It's weird. Woo! Thank you.
Just cause you are you.
Thanks, Gene Fish. That was very kind. I know, because it's always delayed for some reason. Oh, well, thank you very much, Melinda, for the generous PayPal. A double cat eye donation. Very kind, very kind. How you guys feeling, by the way? Excellent, excellent. And I use PayPal to sort of, you know, do the bonus part where I can make it big. Okay, good. Well, thanks, Mary Clark. Jeez. Very cool. We're getting near the end here. We're going to have one last night on the 31st. Yeah, there are 31 days in October. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah. Well, you know, like I said, I just went in to do my EMG test, and they said that I do have, looks like a few of my nerves, you know, from the operation got like, I don't know where or whatever, but anyways, they got cut or something, but they'll regenerate and grow back. But they said it'll take like a year to 2 years to get back to where I'm pretty, you know, like really strong again. It's like, yay, you know. It's like, what a nightmare. Thank you, Dadio. Caspian Horses rock. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. But, you know, I have a number I have to get faxed over my referral for therapy, and I'll start building on the strength. I guess if you work out, your nerves will grow back quicker because they're getting, like, I don't know, stimuli or whatever the hell however you want to look at it. But yep, crazy times. Yeah, that's right. That's true, retired Sergeant Melinda. They did say that. That's what my brother told me. It was weird because when I was in there getting my EMG, two of the medical, what do you call it? Well, they're not students anymore. They're, after they've already graduated, they're still being taught by the main neuro guy. And both those girls have worked under my brother because there's a crossover with rheumatologists with nerves and things like that. So they both knew him. Oh, they go, oh, Grant. Yeah, interns, that's right. They go, Grant, wow, yeah, Grant, he's so nice. And I go, you know what? I've never heard that on my channel. They always say, you're so mean, you know?
Grant, you're so mean.
Yep, that's what I hear all the time. Okay. Yeah. You know what's funny is at the end, you know when you say you're supposed to go, hey, thank you. You know, I struggled saying thank you when they're shocking the hell out of you, and then they stick needles into your arm, and then you're supposed to say, hey, thanks. Thank you, Chrissy. Yeah, that was good surfing. Thanks for starting that. Yeah, he got the nice one. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm actually
Quality
mean.
surfing by the freaks tonight. 1-2 hearts.
Oh, look at that. Kubi put in Space Invaders. That was a great game. Wah, 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 wah. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. Yeah, somehow I got disconnected, but OBS reconnects yourself. I think the way that YouTube has it set up now is better because there's two sides now. So as long as you don't stop your streaming on YouTube, you can come back in even if like your power went out and then 2 minutes later your power comes back on. You can actually just join right back in on the same stream. It wasn't like that before. So, all right, moving on to the next one. And this one is an individual named Thomas Sherwood. Yeah, I think this is in it's in Idaho, actually. Bannock County Sheriff. Well, let me switch over to that screen. Oh yeah, I got my buttons. I can just push a button and boom. Isn't that cool? And I do nightly live streams every single night. Like literally. I mean, in some ways, I was kind of, I couldn't believe I did it, but it was a little bit like Carrie, for example. You know, like she got her eye blown out and came right onto the show to watch. But I mean, I had surgery. And then, let's see, I think that was the only night that, I mean, I didn't have my equipment with me, but then when I drove home the next day, I came home and propped myself up and got a show in. It's pretty crazy, but that's not quite as good as Carrie, but that's... All right. So this is Thomas Sherwood here. Bannock County Sheriff Lauren Nielsen now says the death of 41-year-old Thomas Sherwood could not have been a suicide as initially suspected. So this is the first article that I could find, though. So they ruled it a suicide, and then they said, well, no, it couldn't have been one. Authorities are currently investigating Sherwood's death as a homicide. As a result, they are releasing very few details about the local outdoorsman's death. We've reconstructed the scene and feel that the death could not have been self-inflicted. Nielsen declined to say how Sherwood died or if there are any suspects. Sherwood's body was found Monday night by his wife, Stephanie Bodner Sherwood, at their home. The avid hunter had planned to scout Gray's Lake for sandhill cranes with some friends with the morning of his death. So he had plans. He wasn't really, thinking about killing himself. He was going to go to Gray's Lake, no relation, for sandhill cranes, probably just to take photographs. And then this is another article about 8 months later, it even says, nearly 8 months after Thomas Sherwood was shot to death, the Bannock County Sheriff's Office reported it has suspects in the murder case. Sheriff Lauren Nielsen did not identify suspects, but confirmed that Sherwood was shot in the chest twice with a shotgun. Wow, really? So it took you guys a while to determine that wasn't suicide? I mean, how do you shoot yourself in the chest? First of all, it's hard to shoot yourself in the chest with a shotgun. It just is, right? It's not like something you just, oh yeah, this is easy. But then you shot yourself twice? Give me a break. We just determined today that it looks like that would be difficult. Well, they said it was a suicide, Susie B, first. But they did change it later. But, I mean, what took so long? I mean, that should have been the first second you walked in. You know. Sherwood was found dead in the home he shared with his wife. And he was shot in September of 2000. We have reconstructed the crime scene, and we feel we know how the incident took place, Nielsen said Monday. We've finished the first stage of our investigation. Yeah, but this is way later, 8 months later. He added that 2 private consultants and the state forensic lab agree about what happened at the crime scene. Hey, thanks, none your biz. He added that 2 private consultants and the state forensic lab agree about what happened at the crime scene. Some family members of the murdered outdoorsman say Sherwood stood to inherit, a substantial amount from his grandfather's northern Idaho estate. Sherwood, 41, would have claimed part of a 5-way split of $2 million, making his share $400,000. Interesting. Well, I mean, if it was a family member, the other 3 should look out as well, because there's one of them going to pick them all off. There might be a point where he's like, well, 3 is okay. I still get 800 or 700,000. Thanks, Amy Esselborn. Family members said Sherwood had planned a trip to northern Idaho to settle questions about his grandfather's will. They say it was likely that the trip would have resolved a number of issues and the estate could have distributed amongst heirs. So this means his grandfather had died and the money was needing to be distributed. So you take out one and immediately you've increased your share by $100,000 because he's gone. So then you divide the $400,000 to the remaining 4, and now you all 4 get $500,000. So by killing him, he made himself $100,000. Now, if anybody else died, then all of a sudden it's then he's increasing it, since there'd only be 3 left, almost $200,000. It's wild. A task force made up of both patrol and investigative units in the sheriff's office has been created to look into the shooting. The sheriff's office began investigating Sherwood's death as a homicide after his body was found by his wife. Sheriff's investigators had originally characterized Sherwood's death as a suicide. Jesus, how though? Nielsen said there is a $20,000 reward offered for information leading to the arrest. This is all back in 2001 here. And I don't know if this is an article from way back then. I think it says basically the same thing. Yeah, just oh. Yeah, I'll check that out a little bit later, Juju. Looks kind of interesting. All right, let me mark that as. All right, so this was on Facebook here. That's him right there. He was on the eight of clubs. Sherwood, 41, was found on September 3rd, 2000, deceased in his home on Parks Road in Bannock County near Pocatello, Idaho. The crime scene was set up to look like a suicide. He died from, well, it's obvious that it was set up to look like a suicide. You know? I mean, don't you think? They already said it wasn't a suicide, so that means it's a setup of a suicide. The person wanted to make it look like it was, but probably what happened was the first shot didn't work, and then he shot again. It's now been 16 years since Northwind environmental employee Thomas Sherwood was found murdered in his home. Hey, thanks, good grandma. Oh, and in the middle of nowhere, bear. Cool. Yeah, you guys should catch these lives more often. They're not as bad as people seem to say out on the internet there. I remember one time when I called Gray. He was so mean. He wouldn't let me tell him that there were teddy bears crawling around on the ground. Ooh. I like Mary Lou's voice better. Well, that's what I used to do, but the Mary Lou voice is so much better. It's perfect.
Exactly. I wouldn't trust the forensics after that. 2 times in the chest and you're still able to stand up and do it again.
Right. That's just ridiculous. Hey! Yeah, he shot himself in the chest, and then he reached over again and shot himself again.
Finally catching alive, :
Yeah, I like Mary Lou's pride voice. Okay, it's now been 16 years since Northwind environmental employee Thomas Sherwood was found. They have a golf tournament named after him and everything now. Sherwood worked in Idaho Falls and lived in Pocatello. On September 3rd, 2000, police were called to his home for a suicide. Upon investigation, detectives uncovered evidence which showed Sherwood's death was not suicide but a murder. According to one detective, it said, this is a quote, "I know who our suspects are in the case. It's just a matter of finding enough evidence to prosecute them." So when you say suspects, you mean perhaps brothers? That's the frustrating part. We know what evidence we need for that to happen, and it hasn't happened yet. We have had other people review the case, and it comes back to the same conclusion we came up with. Right.
I love the freaks.
Awesome. Sean Beecham. I think the freaks all love you too, Sean Beecham. They're always wondering, where is Sean Beecham? The detective said he keeps track of Sherwood's widow and brother-in-law. He knows where they live and work. Other people also know what happened. Well, that's interesting too. Oh yeah. Well, actually, let's forget the brother angle. I completely. Wouldn't she get his portion, the wife? And that might be a clue right here. For example, right? Like, wouldn't his wife get his? Yeah. So there you go. So maybe there's something that angle as well. So it's either brother wanting a tiny little. That seems less likely that a brother would do that for. You're getting 400, but I want 5, right? Doesn't that sound a little like, yeah, not really too likely. Hey, thanks, Darrell Greggs. So it sort of seems to me in this case that maybe it's that just them mentioning that here the way they did, keeping track of them, widow and brother-in-law. Sherwood's widow and brother.
Freaks. I love you all.
Right. So that means Sherwood's. Because why would you even mention brother-in-law here? Unless that's one of the suspects. So the detective said he keeps track of Sherwood's widow. See, that would make sense, right? Like you'd go, okay, he's just checking in with the wife every once in a while. But then he throws in brother-in-law there. So that means that would be his widow's brother. He knows where they live and work. See, why would you put that sentence in there? Other people also know what happened in 2001. Yeah, it's just her brother. Yeah. People, the police wanted to take polygraph test refused on the advice of their attorney. So it's either, so I guess the only people that make sense at all are people who wanted his money, because he was just a total beloved person who was just a good member of society. He wasn't into drugs. He wasn't doing all this stuff. He was just a regular guy, liked the outdoor and everything. And so the only people it could be, in my opinion, that makes sense, I'm not saying the only people, let's just say this. The people that make the most sense dramatically are either his brothers or his wife and somebody related to his wife. I don't think his wife did it, but maybe somebody related to his wife, which could very well, maybe, allegedly be the brother-in-law of Thomas Sherwood, right? So those are the only people that would have gained from it. You see what I'm saying? That's it. And I bet you they didn't find any other motive. Nothing. See, and that's the thing. You made it look like a suicide, right? So you couldn't make it look like a robbery motive, because then it's like, well, then why he didn't rob himself and then shoot himself.
I love the British accent. The whole thing is obvious.
Yeah.
It's about the money.
Right.
Just get a divorce.
Yeah. So many times it's like this. Yeah, so to me, it does seem like we don't know. It seems more likely it's not one of the brothers, though. They were already going to get $500,000. But maybe the wife and him were having problems, and she knew that he was going to go there and sort of settle it, right? And by going there, he might have sort of wrote her out of it so that only he got it, or it went back to his brothers. So he had to be taken out before that meeting he was going to have. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. The police want... Okay, let's see. No one has been charged in his death. Yeah. And if you have any information, call the sheriff at 208-236-7111. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think that he definitely... as you heard in one of the articles or on this... I can't remember exactly where we read it, but he was supposed to go and discuss the divvying up of the money from his grandfather because he had died, and that would have sort of settled how it was going to be distributed. And if he and his wife were already having problems, she may have been nervous that somehow he would write it in a way where she wouldn't get a nickel from it. And, who knows? Who knows how that went? But it's interesting that he didn't get to make it to the meeting to discuss it. And it just seems not as likely that brothers would kill somebody, or a brother would kill anybody, to go from $400,000 to $500,000, right? Doesn't that just seem a little weird? But, well, here's the thing. This wasn't about life insurance, though. This was about the grandfather's will. Don't forget about life insurance. There might have been some of that too, right? But there's they were going to get $400,000 from the settling of his grandfather's estate. Yeah. Well, it could have been aliens too at this point. We just don't know. All right, let me move on to this next. There's some videos here. It was on the news. These links are in the description. See if this works.
While no one is in jail yet, nor even charged, a local law enforcement agency continues to investigate the death of a Pocatello man, hoping to find answers to an unsolved murder. In September of 2000, Tom Sherwood was found, shot to death in his basement. Phil Campbell has the details on this mystery and what local law enforcement are doing to solve it.
Some would have you believe that Tom Sherwood's death was a suicide, but the investigators I spoke with say the evidence points to murder. September 3rd, 2000, the Bannock County Sheriff's Office receives a call after a woman discovers the dead body of her husband. They respond to the home of Tom Sherwood and find him shot to death in the basement. Investigators say the scene had been manipulated to appear as a suicide, a move they say was intended as a smokescreen.
Obviously, it's somebody that is close to the victim and is trying to divert our attention away from the fact of what it really is, and that's a brutal murder.
Lead investigator Andy Thomas says some still want to believe it was a suicide, but he says the evidence shows otherwise. The most convincing evidence is the calculated distance at which Sherwood was shot. Not once, but twice.
No,
we came up with a distance of right at.
That's great that you have the distance, but the most damning evidence is that he was shot twice with a shotgun.
8 feet that he was shot from. So
but yeah, that makes a big difference.
Instantly dispelled any facts that that there was.
It's like, hello, elephant in the room.
Thomas also says the reconstruction of the crime scene shows the shots were fired from the same gun, but they came from 2 different directions. Convinced of what really happened within the walls of the Sherwood home on that fatal day, the sheriff's office says they are just waiting for that last piece of the puzzle to fall into place.
We hope that there's been enough time go by that people have started to calm down and maybe relax a little bit and would be more forthcoming with information.
Until that time, Thomas says there isn't a day that goes by without him giving some thought to the Sherwood case. Reporting in Bannock County, Phil Campbell, KPVI News 6.
Now, we're not done with this.
Well, in part one of our series on the Tom Sherwood murder case
on the case and see how close he feels this case.
There's a part 2 right here.
Well, in part 1 of our series on the Tom Sherwood murder case, we showed you last night how the scene was tampered with to try and mislead investigators.
Hold on a second.
Well, in part 1 of our series on the Tom Sherwood murder case, we showed you last night how the scene was tampered with to try and mislead investigators. Well, tonight we'll find out we'll find out that investigators know exactly what happened that fatal day 11 years ago. Phil Campbell has more now from Bannock County.
Not a day goes by that lead investigator Andy Thomas doesn't think about what happened to Tom Sherwood.
The longer the case goes, the more complex it becomes, the more guilt you feel for the family, for the Tom Sherwood's family, as well as his great network of friends.
Tom Sherwood was found dead in his basement.
Thanks, Sean Beecham. Happy Halloween, you freaks. Wait, let's see.
Happy Halloween, freaks. I am early on this one. Grey feel well soon, crown blue heart see no evil.
Yeah, well, I don't really have any pain associated with what's going on. I just can't really use my arm doesn't work very well. I can't, lifting above my head I can reach a little bit further. Oh, see that? Over here, I can touch that shoulder now. I used to be about like this. But, I don't know.
Basement. The scene had been manipulated to look like a suicide, but Andy knew right away that this was something more.
When I saw the Tom Sherwood scene, I wasn't comfortable at all with the fact that this was a suicide. And actually, my supervisor at the time was on the scene, and he and I discussed in length what we felt about the scene, and that my opinion, it was made to set us off to make it look like a suicide.
Tom Sherwood was found dead in the basement of this house, and investigators removed a mountain of evidence, some of which is still waiting for the right forensic technology for processing.
Techniques are made up every day for forensics. The things that we are waiting for, I'm sure haven't been made yet. But we can see now the direction that forensics are going, especially with DNA, and we collected a lot of evidence from that scene, and luckily, it's kind of a cat and mouse game. We're just waiting for the time that some of this evidence can be tested, and we're not far from a lot of this.
Until then, Andy is asking for the public's help in bringing whoever's responsible for Sherwood's death to justice.
There's people out there that definitely know what happened, and I would love to talk to those people, and I have talked to several of the individuals. I try to keep in touch with them, and if at any time they want to come forth and talk to me, I would be more than happy to, to help them with that.
There's no doubt in Andy's mind what happened that day, but they are still lacking the evidence to bring this case to trial. Reporting in Bannock County, Phil Campbell, KPVI News 6.
All right, so if you've got information in the case, you're encouraged to contact the Bannock County Sheriff's Office. The number there, 236-7123.
Oh, that must have been a story way back in the day, because they didn't even have an area code on it. Right? Just the 7 digits. Are there still places out there like that, for God's sakes? Let's see. So Beverly said, wow, this happened near Delphi? Just got in. No, it didn't. It didn't, Beverly. Why, what made you think that? Yeah, it had nothing to do with Delphi at all. Just, try to get a feel for the case, look at the title, that kind of thing. You'll probably be able to figure it out. Just say, hey, what case is this? Maybe that's better. But the whole world isn't Delphi case. Except we were talking about it at the beginning of the show, because for those of you who are just tuning in, I spent some... This is what I've been trying to do for a long time, actually. Literally, since this came out, I just never had the time. But I finally got all the frames isolated and put together, keeping the railroad tie on the side and the platform, lined up. Okay, somebody else suggested lining this up, but the problem is there's the camera itself is yawing and moving around, so it's distorting everything. So I just kind of used lining it up, the side rail and the platform here. And what I've got here is, let me switch over to this one, is this new look here where I literally, let's see what happened. I think it's got to connect. There it is. So now I have an actual image from the bridge from March of 2017 from my friend Beth, who went out to the bridge. I don't know if you can see this other monitor. That's actually what the real shot looked like. And you can't even see it, but way in the background is the platform, and there's a forked tree, and that's what the actual shot looked like. But zooming in, like the police did to give us somebody to look at, it looks like this. Watch. So, I mean, it's pretty amazing. If you watch how this overlay is working, look at the forked tree back there. Okay? And then look at the white, see the little white nodule right there? I mean, that's what's incredible, is right when you can see it with the bridge guy, right there, look at that, the white nodule shows up exactly where it's supposed to be. And if you look at this frame here in particular, you see this little shape, black line, and then it curves up, and then the black line continues. That's exactly what you see right here. Boom, goes up like that. It's like looking at tree ring dating. So we have that one, and then we have, and then I put it on a larger image. But again, I'm not really like the aspect ratio of that one. I'm not sure is that great. This one here, I've rotated everything so he's vertical. And you see the forked tree right there through. I mean, it's pretty amazing because so this is what he probably looked like on that full bridge. But then I have one more where it's actually a wider shot now of using more of that photo. But again, like I showed you before, it actually looks like that. So that's why there isn't any detail. So when people start telling you they can see little tiny details on his face, they are full of crap. Okay? You can't do it. And so this is the final one, and I think everyone, when you watch that, you have to admit that that's pretty crazy looking. And look how amazing it is. See that, how behind right back here, this lighter looking, I don't know what you call it, like a railroad tie right there. Look how perfectly that's lined up with that. See that right there? Goes right across. And that's the actual released video. So looking at that right there is, you know, if you want to sort of have a feel of what it would look like that day, if you just kind of squint your eyes, that's it. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it gives you a whole perspective. You can kind of just see what that was like. Because imagine it, and there was nobody else at the other end either. Like this one has those people back there. But there was nobody there. It was just a totally isolated moment. So, you know, next time you see the stuffed animals underneath the, you know, on the ground, just realize that, yeah, they're not really there. It's so easy to do, to trick people, to make it seem like you're seeing something by, you just load it up and you start messing around with the filters, and then you try to pretend that you see something. And that's just one of the sad things on social media, especially YouTube. You get a lot of people that do that. It's like a hobby almost. Maybe I should open up the phone lines. Is that going to work? There we go. Well, we do some Delphi calling. That's exactly what the bear looked like too, Dadio. That teddy bear right there? Yeah. You know, and it does kind of look like a little bear there. But that's just because things do that. It's called pareidolia. P-A-R-E-I-D-O-L-I-A. Look it up. Thank you, Wicked. No, you don't see a bear here. There's this guy that took the helicopter footage, zoomed in on the most blurry thing that you could ever see on the ground, put all these filters on it, and there's this big teddy bear laying there. It's just...
Thanks for all you do, Gray. I've been watching Smile.
And strangely, not one witness that was down there said anything. Like, oh my God, I saw this huge teddy bear laying there. None of that ever came out in the... There it is. What does StreamYard have to do with this, Carla? Referring people to Gray. Oh, yeah. Somebody said, we need people that are credible, not Gray's channel. They actually put that in their bylaws. It's like, really? And then you probably look at their credible ones, and it's people like, I might be going to mention them. Yeah, right. What they probably were, there was somebody that got butt hurt by me. You know, I probably told him one time. I think Zozo shared that with me. She's the one that saw it. It was pretty funny. Yeah, let me get the phone numbers going here. Hold on. Those aren't correct on the screen there. Okay, just a second. You know, I actually have a bunch of numbers for Australians to call in. They actually have Zoom for Australians. But it's too much to put on the screen. That's the problem with it. All right, well that should be good right there. Up on the screen, you guys can see that? Yeah, I mean there's like 6 numbers. It said, you know, I don't know if you guys can see this, but look right here, look. See this? All these are Australian Zoom numbers. But they're always the same. So, you know, if you guys want, I can put them right here. Okay, so for you Australians out there, why don't you grab those and keep them on the side. And if you ever want to call in, you can dial that first, and then the same other ID and everything that everybody else has. You got it? Lee D, Zozo, the rest of you? I know what you're talking about, Carla. Probably should just call the people with StreamYards. What do you mean you can't read them? I just put the numbers in the chat right there. Just copy them and put them somewhere. I don't know how you can't read these. They're pretty big on the screen. I don't care if anybody calls in or not. It doesn't, you know, if you don't call in, you don't call in. I'm just thought this would be a good time since that's a pretty crazy looking, when you look at that video there, it's weird. You'd have to know the exact setting of the phone camera as well when you film the bridge by itself. Yeah, well, it's pretty clear up there. Just kind of click on the screen and zoom in on it. Well, if you have a freaking cell phone, yeah, probably pretty small. I don't really know how else to do it. Go like this, or does that work? Is that better? Or? That's ridiculous. Yeah, well, I'm gonna go get my. I'm gonna go get something like hot chocolate or something, and then see you guys in a minute. Load up the phones, eh? Okay, I see somebody on hold here, and 567. You gotta take yourself off and mute. Hello.
So many buttons to get to you, Grey Juice.
I don't know.
So many buttons.
Lots of buttons. Yeah.
Yes. Hey, the sweatshirt, I ordered a sweatshirt and a freak mug. And I have to tell you, the sweatshirt, I love it. So do the guys at work. They laugh at me. But
What does it say? Is that the We Are Freaks or that one?
no, the mug is pink with the red heart freak on it. But the sweatshirt is the nefarious sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? Little guy, kind of creepy.
It is, and it's true to size. It's warm.
Yeah.
It fits kind of like an athletic sweatshirt. They're really nice.
Yeah, they're really comfortable. I mean, I was kind of surprised.
Everyone should order one now.
Yes. Order one now. Many different... Yeah.
Many. I ordered it, and it was shipped in 3 days, and I got it in 5 days. So that's awesome. That's also a really good deal. But I wanted to tell you this video thing, my opinion on it. I love it. It gives a whole new perspective to this case. I mean, the image that I had of this monster is so different than what I'm seeing now. I mean, I pictured a quite a bit older, really heavy.
Yeah, he's not really that. He's not that big. He's not a big fat person like people try to say. He looks like he even has like kind of thin legs, and then underneath the jacket, there's just a bunch of crap that he's got under there. We don't know what it is, and guessing at what it is doesn't really help anything at all. But it makes some people go, "Oh my God, he's got a big pot belly." No, that's not really a belly. It's there's stuff there. That's why it's kind of got like sharp points on it when it's You can kind of see those in some of
I totally agree.
Like in these other shots, like this one, it's a little closer up. So you can see that that's not a belly, right? Especially,
correct, yeah.
Like look at
before I thought that he just had layers of clothes on, but now the way that you have this video put together is so amazing because you can see him walk, but that whole, the gait that I had focused on for so long, because I ride trains through here all the time. With the railroad, we sometimes are cabbed through this area. We are at a lot of rest stops, a lot of gas stations, just a lot of places that locals visit, but not necessarily, the locals who live right in Delphi. And I'm always, always, always looking. And so I did really focus on this walk, but it's kind of like, the leg is kind of, kind of weird, or
he kind of sways a little bit when he walks. The one thing I was looking at here was when you look at this one right here, you see like I always thought that maybe there was a zipper or something there, but what's weird is right there it's gone, and it almost seems like that's hard to say because everything gets blurry. Then it came back, but when you watch it being played, it's almost like there's something in there that's rocking around. I
totally agree. That's what I was going to tell you about the coat. And I don't think it's just layers of clothes anymore. I 100% agree that there's stuff, junk, whatever, that's hidden underneath of there.
Yeah. I think the most useful one is the one from afar, don't you think? Like
absolutely.
This one. Yeah. It just sort of, it makes it a totally different perspective on it.
Totally. I know, I always get eeried out. I just get this eerie feeling whenever I see the videos that you put together. But right now, I'm even more weirded out because he just looks like a normal guy. I mean, he looks like a normal person walking around in and around, Delphi.
Yeah, he's not a bum or anything.
Peru.
You know what's interesting when you look at this one, it's weird because it sort of, you can almost see. Like if he did have a hoodie that was on his head, or it's just sort of behind him in this shot. Like, like when you put a hoodie, let's say you have a hoodie and you pull it up through a blue jacket and you put it behind you. And then he's got another hat actually on his head, but the hoodie's just sort of laying behind him. That's why you see a couple of little things on the side there. Something like that. I've always thought it was a hoodie on his head with a hat underneath it. But yeah, I mean, he looks like every single other person that's walking around. I saw this one video. It wasn't too long after Delphi. There was these people at some event, and like literally every single guy that was at the event was wearing exactly. I mean, they had blue jeans on, blue jacket, brown shoes, and like a baseball hat or something, right?
Well, I'm going to tell you something that I've watched the video. I've watched every one of your lives. I found your channel because of this, because of the Delphi murders. I never heard anything about it until shortly after, a couple months after, when I started going that route, and I seen the flyers. And at the bottom of the flyer, it said, Gray Hughes investigates YouTube channel for more information, and that's how I found you. And I
was on a flyer.
There were a couple.
What do you mean?
Yeah, at the bottom of one of the missing flyers.
Weird.
Or not the missing flyers, but the more information, the flyers about Bridge Guy that were posted from Peru to Delphi to Kokomo, all the way.
I don't know why. I don't know why I'd be on a flyer, but that's cool.
It was referring people to your YouTube channel for more information. You had done a video. It was short. I'm thinking that it was shortly before CrimeCon when you met up with Kelsey.
Oh, okay.
You did the video. I'm trying to remember the first one. It was right within the first, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 videos that you did. And so, yeah, at the bottom, there were a bunch of flyers that were put up that were all over the main roads, gas stations, things like that. And at the bottom, it said, Gray Hughes investigates YouTube channel for more information. And that's how I found you. But at the time, we didn't have images like this out. And it was before everybody started putting out, the stupid blurred photos where, they see Jesus in the guy's face and whatnot. But we had a cab driver. And nobody really knew him. And a couple guys had cracked a couple jokes about cab driver being the type. And it bothered me, for somebody to make a statement like that. First, you don't accuse somebody of something like that. But number 2, let's not joke about the death of 2 little girls. So after watching this video, I'm gonna send an email in because we do have a cab driver. And I watched this video today. I got off work, got home. I had the notification that you were on. I seen it said Delphi. I don't miss any that I can, but this one specific cab driver.
You live in? Where do you live? You live in the town, or?
Well, I live in Ohio, but on the railroad, I take trains from my area in Ohio into Peru, Indiana, just a little bit outside of Delphi. But when you showed it earlier, it's more of his walk. But now that I see he's not as tall as some people said, he's not as short as some people said, the jacket that he's got on and the way that he's walking, I can tell that it's not long hair hanging down, his back. It's not like a wig, or it's not long hair. It was just so hard to put in perspective, head to foot, head to toe, his size or how he walks or whatnot. But I'm not so sure that it's not this cab driver.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I hate to say that.
Well, the thing is, it could be.
I'm going to call it in.
It could be. Well, you could call it in, but it could be. Could be tons of people. That's the thing. Is like you can't really see his face. He's basically right inside the average height and build of males. Between 5'6" and 5'10". That's sort of like the average, I guess.
Yeah.
And
and one of the things I think unique, or what makes me think of this cab driver, is he's not originally from that area, but he lives in that area now. He's kind of quiet. He doesn't really talk a whole lot, but his hair would be very distinctive in that he has a really, for an older gentleman, an older guy, he has really curly hair. And so when I watched the video earlier that you're putting together, I thought, if I had that guy's hair, I would cover it up too. Because that's really distinctive, you know? An older guy with really thick curly hair. I don't know, just something about it.
Maybe.
The video that you put out.
Well, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, if there's any other reasoning, I mean, what other reasoning? Where does this cab driver drive around?
Well, he drives all through the area. Like I said, he's not from that area generally, or he's been there for the last, I don't know, 15, 20 years. But I was in the cab one day when a comment was made about Delphi, not the murders, but just Delphi in general. And he got real quiet, and he was listening very intently to everything that was said. So someone else brought up the murders. Isn't that where those 2 little girls were murdered at? That's terrible. How could somebody do something?
So do you see this guy multiple times, this cab driver?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. He's there's a specific company that drives for all of us on the railroad. And like sometimes from Roanoke, Indiana into Delphi, sometimes to Elkhart, Indiana, into Peru.
Yeah,
there's different areas.
If I was you, I would. I mean, I would never tell anybody to not turn something in. I mean, because the thing is, if it turns out to be that one person, I'd feel bad. I just think if you're going to turn somebody in, make sure that there's a pretty decent reason.
Yeah. The way that he acted, a few times, and then since then, just I don't know, my gut. I've talked to you before, and that whole I want to see this. I want to see the end of this. I want to see this guy brought to justice.
Yeah.
Because of the grieving moms groups that I'm in. This is everyone's worst nightmare, and this is what I want. Before I die, I want to see this guy brought to justice. I really do, and I feel like if somebody is turned in and it's not them, then they should be glad that, I don't know about glad, but they should kind of feel like if I had a daughter or granddaughters and somebody had an inkling, I would want them to be cleared or something, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you should do it.
I mean, I'm sure people don't want to be turned in, but at the same point, my gut is screaming at me since watching this video that you've put all this time into. Just makes the entire image that I had of this guy is absolutely not what I'm seeing right now.
Well, that's cool. Maybe it's worth other people seeing this then. Tomorrow what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out, I'll probably put all 3 of these things that I've done in a loop, and maybe I'll be talking about it, and maybe even put the voice in there again too, because I think it's a new thing to be looking at.
I think you should get this out to as many people as possible. You should put your name on it, so that no one can take credit, because there's a bunch of jerks that will do that. But I think that this whole missing piece of the puzzle that state police are always talking about, I think that you've put it together. I think the descriptions and the photos that they have used definitely give perspective to the case. But I think what you've been able to do with these images is really what is going to bring this guy to life. Somebody is out there and they're thinking that they know this son of a bitch, but they're not positive, because there's nothing positive. There's no positive, But this video puts everything into real life perspective. Whoever sees this video and knows this son of a bitch cannot deny that it's him after watching what you've put together. This is what the case needs.
Yeah, well, thanks. I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, it does seem totally, so I don't know about all of you in the chat, but doesn't it just have a totally different feel now?
Absolutely.
Like when you see it.
Absolutely.
I do.
100%.
That's why I was excited to play it, because when I saw it earlier, I was like, wow, that looks... Now you can actually see him on the bridge.
Yes.
And that's kind of... Now you got really what he looks like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and I don't know about anybody else, but I can tell you that anytime I've looked at the videos before, looking at his face, you just don't even really look at his face, because you're focused on the gait, the way that he walks, something like that. At the same point, the way that you've got this now, it's not so, there's more to the video. It's not just looped instantly, I guess, but it's almost like you can see more of the face that you were not able to focus on and see before, because you're looking at his feet, his legs, the way that he walks, something like that.
You're almost like
But
seeing him peripherally now.
Yeah.
Like now you're seeing him, like you're sort of seeing him how you would see a regular person, instead of like before when it was all just isolated. You're just kind of like, oh, looking at his face or trying to find something. But now you're seeing him how your mind would have normally seen a person. Right? He's in the environment,
like
walking
the
around.
His leg is jacked up for sure. He's got a funky leg, like one.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about any of that stuff. I think people say that a lot. His leg just is stepping over holes in the track. So you can't really say anything about how a leg is, jacked up or something. That would just be pure opinion. When you're watching him, he's just walking, and to me, it looks like he's just walking normally, trying to step over holes in the railroad ties.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's been so much focus on his gait, but now I'm seeing, I've been to this bridge. I went there shortly after I found out, about the murders. I went because it's kind of like so shocking, but it puts into perspective. And I didn't go 10 steps on that bridge and turn around.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, not today, not doing it.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to see how. I don't know how I would be. I'm not a big fan of heights, but
yeah, me either.
To get the shot, I'd probably do it.
And I'm on trains going over bridges all the time, so I walk. I've gotten over a lot of fear of heights just from walking over bridges. When my train goes in emergency, or I got to walk ahead of it for wait or whatever it might be. But on this bridge, nope, I'm not that brave. There's no way in hell. And so for this guy, when people say that he has to be from the area for going across, I don't know if he has to be from the area in order to go across the bridge. I feel like there's people that go to, the Empire State Building, and they go up and look down, and they're not from that area and they don't live. But I do feel like he has to be somewhat comfortable, because, people are not going to just generally walk across the bridge. The day that I went there and I saw the bridge, I'm not the only person that took a couple steps and turned around. Right, but I know people that went out there, and
I know 4 or 5 people that went there and went straight across, filmed the whole way, stopped, measured things. Like, I actually have friends, like, that's who I got the actual background video for this. They went out there, and I just think it just depends on if you're scared of heights or not. Some people just doesn't bother them whatsoever, and they just go walking across, and they feel pretty safe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the people who have said that because he walked across the bridge, he has to live from that area. I'm kind of like, no, that's not true. I think he's possibly from that area because he knew that area was going to be, that there were going to be a lot of kids there that day with not having school. Because it's not a place that you're just going to come up on. You're not just, you're before all the signs and stuff were put up saying, hey, the Monmouth High Bridge is over here. Yeah. It's not a place that you would drive down the road and see, or most times you can look on a map and be like, hey, there's these trails, But I love the video, Greg. I love what you've done. And I think that this video right here is going to break the case. I think somebody's out there looking. They're going to see this.
That'd be cool, but I don't know.
I do. I think it's going to happen. I think whoever is thinking, do I know this person? Is this person so-and-so in my family or my neighbor or whatever? Is going to look at this video, and everything in their mind that has made them be too afraid to turn that person in it's going to be a revelation for them. And I think that they're going to make the call. And I think that you are going to be the person that brings this son of a bitch to justice. And I just hope
that'd be awesome. But yeah, it'd be cool if somebody said, oh, I was watching that one video where the guy, yeah, that'd be cool. But, I mean, that's kind of my whole goal is to just put things together and hopefully it makes a difference. I'm not going to pretend to be like the super sleuth in a Facebook group doing side-by-sides with all these random people. That I'm not going to do that. And, it's just not what I do.
Right. Oh, the teddy bear thing.
Yeah, teddy bear.
The group I got booted from.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you. some idiot posted some crap on there about Gray thinks he's the Delphi god. And I commented, and I was like, Gray is the Delphi god. I said, I know it pissed him off because they booted me. They turned me in or whatever. I was booted. I don't give a damn anyway. But it was like, state police and local police have worked with Gray on videos. Gray helped Kelsey get set up as a podcaster. Gray knows the family, you know, all of them have spoke to them. They've spoke with him. His name was on flyers, blah, blah, blah. How many of you lazy bitches in this group can say even one of those things? I mean, the list was so long. It's like, how many of you can say that? So if you can't say any of those things, shut up, sit down, eat your bonbons, get back to your keyboard worrying somewhere else.
Well, they get mad at me if I point something out as just being totally ludicrous. Like, I'll just go, oh, yeah, that's stupid. Oh, you think you own the case? No, I'm trying to defend, like, reason and logic. You sound like these people putting teddy bears out there. It's just, oh, my God. Jesus.
You know what? If that were those baby girls that were brutally murdered and left like that, and if they were living in a community looking at people and wondering, did you kill my daughters? Did you hurt my babies? I guarantee you they would have a different freaking attitude about people putting false information out, spreading false rumors, and acting a fool the way that these idiots have been acting. So I, for one, appreciate having one place to go to that has all the information and only the truth, and the rest of them, God help them if something ever happens to people in their family and they need to rely on the public, because karma is what it is.
Yeah, well, if it was any one of them, I'd try to cover it exactly the same way, even if they've been so mean. But anyways, I got
I got a vinyl cutter and a heat press, and I'm gonna put on a shirt. If ever found missing, contact Gray Hughes Investigate.
Well, hey, thanks for
nobody else freaking will.
Well, thanks for saying all those nice things and getting the mug and the shirt.
Absolutely. I'm gonna be wearing that all the time. I'm gonna put an order together. All the guys at work love it. They love it, and that's right. Berserker Loki, no BS on this channel. Absolutely done.
That's right. All right. Well, thanks for calling in. I got somebody's on hold, so I'm gonna go get to them. But I appreciate you calling in. That was nice. Thank you.
Thanks, Gray. I'm gonna PayPal you a couple hundred tonight. I, for one, absolutely love the work. I do. I tried to do it earlier, but my computer's being stupid, so I'm gonna do it through PayPal.
Well, thank you very much. That'll help out a lot on the bonus donations. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. 413. You're on there. 413. You can unmute yourself now. Thanks, Steph May. Glad you got a shirt. Or a sweatshirt. I can't hear you, 413. You gotta unmute yourself, because I've given you permission to unmute yourself. You could actually have a couple ham sandwiches underneath that jacket too. We don't know. It's hard to get, the thing is we can sit here and guess what he has under the jacket, but we have no clue what he's got under the jacket. That's the reality of it. And I used to do that too. I think the one thing that we think is possible is that he's maybe propping up a gun with his right hand underneath that jacket. His right hand's higher. It's almost like he's got it in the jacket pocket and then sort of propping it up down. Yeah! Who's this? God, that took forever. Who is this?
My name is Beverly.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
I'm the one who's been writing you. I did the thesis on what you did for Delphi, and I ended up getting an A on it. But when I spoke with the state police, down there, they told me, go to you.
Oh, and, come on.
You were the expert on it.
Nobody said that. Come on, really?
Yeah, they did.
Because I was talking
I spoke with one of the sergeants.
Oh, yeah?
And I explained I was doing a paper for a class. And he said, look I guess at one time he said that they were going to bring you in just for your illustrations on how the crime happened.
Oh.
That you were the closest to how it happened.
Was that, did that happen to be, do you remember who that was?
I was a sergeant. It's in my book.
Well, Holman is the guy that he knew about. He'd seen my videos. So maybe he's Sergeant Jerry Holman. Oh, yeah? Huh.
To let you know that. I said, I know you don't want to talk about Delphi, but they say you're the expert. But until tonight, the picture, I can't believe what I'm seeing, because every time, I go on YouTube, I see a different picture. I see we're enhancing the picture. This is what he looks like now.
Yeah.
And just to see that tonight is amazing. But I wanted to let you know that today, a Sergeant Spivey was interviewed on YouTube, and he brought up a very good point. He said that they just came out with, I guess, links that they can look from the day before satellite-wise and see what cars were in the area and what weren't.
Well, we found that one satellite image from the day. We had a satellite image from the day, but it was at noon. But it was also not very clear, but it was pretty amazing to see a satellite image literally an hour and a half, 2 hours prior to the murders, right of that exact area. Pretty crazy.
Well, this Sergeant Spivey said he worked on the case with the Golden State Killer.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he was supposed to come out and say what he said, but he did. He said they worked on enhancing all that, and they found that, I guess there's a huge company. I don't know Delphi. I've never been there. And it's near where the girls were murdered. And they found that a white van was not present the day of the murders, but it was present the next day with front end damage to it.
I mean, you're watching that. You're watching that. Yeah, you're talking about the meat packing crap. I don't believe any of that stuff at all. It wasn't a white van. It was a darker van, and it doesn't mean a damn thing. That whole thing. I mean, it could mean something, but it's such a. I know who you're talking about. That whole line of stuff about, ooh, look at this. We can see the video at the meat packing plant, and look at that one van was there, but then it's not there, and it's just such wild speculation about that van. Okay, it really is. I don't even consider that anything at all. Nobody's even mentioned a van. Nobody's seen a van. Oh yeah, but there was one underneath the bridge by the creek. Don't forget that one.
Yes, that's what they said.
Yeah,
yes,
it's bullshit.
That's what they said.
Okay, there wasn't one.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now let me ask you: do you think this guy's like an Israel Keys? You know how Israel went for so long killing people without going on the map
with his kits? Yeah. I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, Israel Keys is kind of his own guy. He has his own techniques. I don't know if this guy is technically a serial killer, but I think he is like one. Like his mentality is the same. He may be like John Miller, the April Tinsley killer, who killed her and apparently never killed anybody else, but he was taunting the police for years, and he's another one that I would consider serial killer-like. He just doesn't have the numbers. I don't know anything about this guy. He could very well be one.
What's your opinion on two of them being involved?
No, I don't think that at all. Yeah. I think it's just this guy.
Yeah, I don't either.
Well, look at this video right here. See, there's a lot of people that think... See, this kind of debunks the people who say, oh, he came from this side, past the girls, and turned around. Look how far away he would be. And it would even be further, because let me show you guys. This is the actual look. So even over on the right, I don't know if you can't even see the forked tree, it's so far away. So he's like 60-something feet away from the end of the bridge. Why would he need to walk that far past? You know, and why would the girls see him near there and go, ooh, let's keep going that way? They would have ran as fast as they could the other direction. There's just a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense when people say that over and over again. You know.
You're so right. Especially if a guy is approaching you with a cellophane bag over his head, you're going to run.
Well, I don't think he has. He doesn't have a cellophane bag on his head.
That's what everyone.
Who the hell's saying this? What channels are you watching to get all this stuff about the vans, the cellophane bag on his head? My God!
I keep getting messages.
Yeah.
I keep getting messages from this UAP.
Oh God! Are you kidding me? Wait, are you talking about that idiot that comes up with the audio shit?
Yes.
That's total crap. I told you this earlier in the show. That's not real. None of that stuff is.
Why would people from their own home?
I hope you didn't put any of that in your paper that you wrote.
No, God, no. I just basically went through all your old videos and stuck with that, and stuck with the people I spoke to.
Yeah. I'm just going to tell you right now, that person that's putting out this reversed, decryption, or whatever the hell you want to call it, of what, because what they're saying is, the audio that was released, that the FBI, instead of literally just giving us the clips, they left in other stuff, but then just encrypted it. Why the hell would they do that? It's stupid. I mean, nobody would do that. And not only that, the FBI has, you're not going to be able to decrypt something. But they don't even do shit like that. That's not how it would work. They would just absolutely wipe out the audio for that segment. So what this person's doing is they're just claiming they hear stuff, doing the EVP reading bullshit technique where they start going, hey, look at that, it said sheriff, it's garbage. And here's what scares me the most is how many people in the comments are like, wow, great work, man, that's fantastic, wow. It makes me want to puke, it makes me nervous about the world at that point. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, Gray, I don't pay attention to it anymore. When he started giving me a history of minute by minute how these murders happened and exactly what was done and what was said, I thought to myself, UAP. I said, you don't pick this up from a radio broadcast, Yeah, he told me minute by minute how the girls were killed, what happened, right down to the names they were being called. He said that when he says down the hill, he's yelling to another guy because one of the girls escaped and ran down the hill to get away.
Yeah, hold on one second. Hey, listen, Bill always says this on every time he calls in, but he's just wrong, okay? He keeps talking about the southeast side, all this kind of stuff. He's just wrong. Now, I like the music that he likes to listen to. I'm talking about somebody in chat right now. He's just completely wrong. And law enforcement knows he's wrong. Everybody knows he's wrong. He just wants to say it over and over and over again about the southeast side. They don't want me to explain, how could it not be this too? I just explained it to you in another way, where the guy is way over there. Why would he walk just that little bit and then come back? Okay, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah, and they have witnesses that saw him way over on the other side. And that's where they're saying that the car was parked by the CPS building.
Right, and what I investigated for my paper, Dr. Oz put on TV that he was behind a tree. What I saw from all your videos, I never saw anyone behind a tree.
Well, yeah, I made 9 debunking videos. Apparently I need to dust that back off and do some more debunking videos of the same crap that's back out there again.
Yeah, I think you can break it. I really do, because you were the only legit information that I had to go to. That was it. You weren't out there to make a name for yourself like these other people. You weren't showing all these crazy pictures. You were just showing actual facts.
Yeah, see, that's why my channel, this is what I was talking to somebody today. They go, man, this one person, their channel takes off it just soars. And what yours isn't, because, and I'm saying that's because I don't do the sensationalistic stuff. And sometimes I'll cover a case and I'll get more subs because people are interested in that. But then I'm moving on relatively quickly unless it's continually active. But I'll keep covering all these other cases that are totally, like the 2 tonight. Nobody's ever heard of those. Nobody would ever even think of covering those, because they got to cover the Morpheus and the Chris Wattses over and over again because they're the cash cow and the sub-mining cases. I think it's disgusting. Those people shouldn't call themselves true crime YouTubers. They really shouldn't. They should call themselves blood-sucking whack jobs, okay? Because that's what they are. It's really...
I love the old murders. I listen to your new podcast, and I love them. The way you broke it down with the two people in the hotel, with the girl, with the patch over her mouth, quieted. It was amazing. Because not too many podcasts do those things. They don't get into the facts. I like facts. I want to know the facts of something before I can figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say thank you, Gray.
Well, thank you for calling in.
Have a good night.
Yeah, but be rest assured that none of that stuff that you just mentioned about the vans or the audio or the teddy bears under the bridge are real. Okay? Sleep well.
The teddy bears.
Sleep well.
I will. All right, thanks. All right now.
Bye-bye. See that, everybody? I can make people laugh, too. All right? I don't have any similar feelings at all to the J.B. Beasley Howlett case at all. I think it's more similar to the case Lyric and Elizabeth in, is it Iowa? I think. Yeah, Evansville. That one's similar to. It's nowhere near the Delphi case. Is totally. J.B. Beasley Howlett's different. They had somebody, they've already made an arrest in that one. Seems like it was, I don't know, it's just two people. That's about the only similarity is that there's two people. That's about it. But that was an interesting case. So. Yeah, maybe you could say that. Two people, a gun. But that's pretty typical. A gun makes people do whatever the hell they want you to do, basically. Think his a bitch. What are you talking about, Rebel Rose? Oh, yeah. Bill from Miami. He's the one that believes that the killer was on the southeast side. By God. Yes, the EVP routine. This one. Oh my God, did you hear that, everybody? It says, I'd like to have a jelly donut.
I can't wait for
with
a classic
frosting
Gray
on top.
Hughes EVP routine. Coming right up after this call.
Yeah, that's what the guy is doing with the Delphi audio. It's like, hey guys. And then he goes. Get down the hill. Oh, did you hear that, everybody? In between it said, I'd like to have a ding-dong and a Twinkie. Yeah. Yeah, basically, and here's the funny thing about the guy who did that analysis was that if you notice all the words that popped up on the secret little EVP reading device were all of the wild speculation sort of ideas that people have. Like, ooh, maybe it's the sheriff, right? So all of a sudden, hey, did you hear the word sheriff in there? Oh, I see. So the girls knew he was the sheriff, and law enforcement heard it say sheriff because you actually... See, listen to everybody. Listen for a second. So he decrypted the audio that the FBI had. Okay? But now, if you think that he decrypted it, they decrypted it, well, then that means the FBI has the audio where it says the sheriff and all these other people. So how come there aren't arrests been made already? Like, for example, if you know, Libby said, hey, Sheriff so-and-so. You don't think that they would have went, oh my God, we got it. But instead, it's in the EVP. Oh, wait, I know what it is. It's actually ghosts inserting words in the encrypted audio. That's amazing, everybody. Think about it for a minute. It's perfect. So in between the two clips now, we have a ghost putting in the terms.
What are you talking about? Nice try there, but yeah.
Oh God, it's just. Well, who's calling in next? Yeah. See, I don't. When people say, there's a lot of people that say, "Oh, yeah, you can see his leg." I just see him walking normally, trying to step maybe further. And this time, it does seem like right there he's now heading towards the camera, though. Right? Right now. See, watch. And it's funny because even when there was 3 frames, I was able to. I wrote that. I said, "Hey, look! It looks like he's turning towards the girls right here." And now we have 50. What is it? 50. I don't know, 3 or 4 frames. Can't remember now. Yeah, sometimes I just make people laugh, you know. And it doesn't mean like, how dare you laugh? Ooh. Yeah, you get people that get so worked up. It's just, yeah, we're not laughing at the case or anything that happened in it. It's more about just idiocy, really. Here, let's try. Let's get. I'll show you what's going on in the helicopter footage. Let me find that one. Wasn't it RTV6 or something? Yeah, there it is. Oh boy, here we go. All right, 479, you're on the air. Got to hit the unmute button. Wasn't that the same digits that called before? Hello. 479. You have to unmute. Oh yeah, who's this? Is this Rebel?
Rebel Rose.
Hey, see, I got it. What was that?
Yeah, you recognized my voice, didn't you?
I did. I don't know where Sassmare is.
I'm disappointed tonight.
What'd that?
Huh?
What'd you say?
I'm disappointed tonight.
What are you disappointed in? There's no trolls?
Fucking ain't right, dude. I ain't got to cuss one damn troll out.
Where the hell are they? I guess they control this new clip that's out, right? It's like, man.
I know, man. I was looking forward to cussing them fuckers out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last time we did this, one called in and wanted to know where I lived at.
Oh yeah? You didn't tell him, right?
Yeah, hell no, you cut him off.
Oh, that's right. Well, I had to. I cut him. That was kind of a weird night. This is the area right here. This is the shot. Look how blurry this is, everybody. And he's like zooming in. So the crime scene is right down in this area here. But zooming in on this stuff, being that pixelated, just doesn't work. I don't give a damn what NASA equipment you got. Doesn't work. So what's going on, Rebel Rose?
I'm enjoying the show, bud. I don't know when I'm going to be back. I have my neck surgery on November 5th.
Oh shit! What are you getting done? You gonna have an ACDF or?
They're gonna go in and take the disc out.
ACDF.
And yeah, I don't know what that. Yeah, I guess that's what you call it.
And then you fuse the two vertebrae together using metal plates, right?
I guess that's what they're gonna do because the nurse said something about putting tissue back in there and then putting plates on it. So I guess that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, they put bone material in there so that bone grows between where the two plates are. But man, it'll really open up your. You probably have something similar then. Just a second.
Daddy-O is gonna go in through the front, so I'll probably have a scar in the front of my neck. But you know what? I don't care as long as it stops me from hurting. Yeah, I tell you what, dude. Remember that I can't remember his damn name, Colonel or something. He sent $100 in wanting you to talk to me, and he asked you a question, and I told him, I was like, dude, you got to send in another $100 to get the answer to that.
Last second. What are you talking about? No, I'm on the right side here. I know exactly where it is, Sergeant Melinda. I've got this case completely figured out. I know exactly where it was. Sorry, you're not correct. You're not correct, Melinda. Okay? Sorry about that, but you're not right. I've been following this case from the very beginning. I know exactly where the crime scene is. Well, I don't care if you're federal this or that, Melinda. Don't come on to the show and tell me that I'm not right here. I know exactly where it was, okay? Yeah, this is the bent tree right here. It's on the other side of the river. The crime scene, right behind here is the cemetery. And here's the creek. There's the bent tree. And the crime scene's right in this area, okay? Yeah, I know exactly where it is. 100%. And as a matter of fact, I'll show it to you right here on the screen. God, nothing worse, you know. Somebody comes in and tries to tell you they got it all figured out when this has been figured out since the beginning. Hold on, let me get this.
No problem.
I think I think you just have it backwards in your head, Melinda. Hold on. Just a second. You don't know if I have it right or wrong. I'm just playing a helicopter footage, and what I was pointing at was where the crime scene was. So that's 100% true. Okay? Nothing worse. Right, so I'm going to go back over here. Here it is. Let me get rid of all this overlays and shit that I have. Pretty crazy. So here is the cemetery right here. The helicopter you were just looking at was just like this. Looking down, there was the bent tree. The crime scene's right there. And here is the cemetery and Ron Logan's properties right there. Okay? So, it's the right side. Trust me. What do you mean I was misunderstanding? You said I had it on the wrong side. Well, you said I had it on the wrong side, though, Melinda. You said you're wrong in the comments. I'm not misunderstanding. I'm reading up here. You said they had it all taped off on old man's property across the river, not the side you said, Gray. Yes. Yes. Here's the old man Logan, right? It wasn't on the other side of the river. It was on his property on this side. It's all taped up. Then there's a bent tree right there that you see on some videos. Okay? So I'm just trying to tell you, I've been following this case since the beginning. You didn't read and was tracking me? I don't know what that means. Okay, well now you said it's misunderstanding. Okay, good. But when I was reading it, it was, you know, it was crazy. It was like trying to discredit somebody. What are you drinking right there? Wait, not drinking. Is that one of those little those cigarette things? Okay, well if you cleared it up later, that's great. But you really, you know, That's not the right side. All I was doing was looking at the helicopter footage. Watch. See the helicopter footage, there's the bent tree. So what you're looking at right then is just like this. And there's the bent tree right there. See that one? That tree right there, it goes over the creek. Right there. And there's the crime scene. And you can see it right here on the helicopter footage. There's the bent tree. Right inside there. That's where it is. You just can't make anything out there. Yeah, anyways. What do you got to say? Let me, how about you run the show for a couple minutes? I'm going to go do something. Yeah, let's have a beer, retired Melinda. But here, go ahead and you're going to talk now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to go help my wife with something, so you can run the show, all right?
All right, hell, that's good with me, dude.
Okay, all right. Do it.
Yeah, y'all hit that damn thumbs up, or I'm gonna hunt you in your dreams, and I'm gonna scare the hell out of you. I ain't got a damn tooth in my head. Yeah, I wanna hang out with all y'all too. I ain't got no damn teeth, but I bet you I could bite the hell out of his ass. I'd sure love to get my hands on that little bastard. Stephanie Mae, baby, I'm from Louisiana. I'm a Cajun. Carolina, tell you love you too, baby. I love all of y'all. I'm gonna miss y'all while I'm gone. I'll keep you, I will, baby. Hey, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Daddy-o, I love y'all too, baby. I promise you, he'd have the most painful death. I love y'all too, because people like this piss me off so bad. I hate kids going missing. I wish I could save them all.
Rebel Rose, everybody. Here, hold on.
Right.
Here, let's do this. Let's get my music going. The other music, this one, and I'll introduce you. Okay, hold on a second.
Right.
All right, everybody. Tonight's a special night on the Great Houston Investigates channel with Rebel Rose. Rebel, tell us about yourself and what you like about true crime. Hello?
I'm here. I was waiting you get through talking. I don't like a fucking thing about this son of a bitch.
Oh, okay.
I like one thing, and I'd like to get my hands on him.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Honey,
what would you do to him?
I'll take him down there and let the damn gators have him.
Oh, man. That's kind of a thing down there, isn't it?
Oh, hell yeah. You go in the swamp, baby. You don't come out.
I used to love watching the show where they catch the gators, you know? What's the name of that
Swamp
one?
people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is that still going on, or?
Yeah, now they're over there in the Florida Everglades.
Yeah.
Where people let them big ass snakes, what you call them damn things, boa constrictors or whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're helping catch them.
Oh, weird. Yeah, because they a lot of people leave their. What if are there anacondas over there? You know, there's anacondas. Because somebody could let one go in Florida, and it would probably flourish. You know.
Burmese pythons. That's right, Mr. Fluffy. It's
pythons.
I don't know what all they're called, but I'm gonna tell you what. They ain't got to worry about me with damn snakes. Hell.
Yeah, they're huge. Pythons can get gigantic, you know. Not like an anaconda.
Yeah,
anacondas are pretty big. But.
Yeah, and they've got I guess you'd say an overflow of them sapsuckers down there. I watched one season and they caught like 18 damn snakes.
Wow. 18 of them. So they switched over to that. So there's a bounty on those, right? Like they actually get. It's not like the alligators. You get there's skin, right? And then there's meat, probably. But
yeah, gator's good. You know how to cook it.
Yeah, it seems like if it tastes good, guess what it tastes like, everybody? Chicken. Just kidding.
Sure does. Bear's good if you know how to cook it.
That doesn't taste like chicken.
No, but it's good. I can't remember what it tastes like. It's been so long since I ate any, but it's good as hell. I mean, about made myself sick on it.
Like, I've had deer before, you know, and it's kind of gamey, sort of, you know. Doesn't really, it's not like having a steak, you know.
You know, my aunt got me to canning deer in jars.
Wow.
Like you would can vegetables. The old folks used to do it. They had what they call a canning shack where everybody in the community would come in and would can meat in the jars. That's how they preserved the meat.
Wow.
And it doesn't have the wild game taste or anything. It's damn good.
Well, what else? Let's see. I was like, I wanted to go down to that area just to go fishing, bass fishing or something.
Oh, hell yeah. If you ever get a chance to go to Louisiana, go down to, it's called Grand Isle, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and dad took us down there, and my dad said he wanted to show us where the road ended and went out into the Gulf of Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome as hell. I had a fit because the damn fish was flying through the air. We couldn't stop, and I didn't understand that because I wanted to stop and go fishing.
Oh, those carp that fly, yeah, those are crazy, stupid. Carp are the worst thing that ever happened. They're just such a bad thing. They just take over everything. They're basically like a rat of the water, you know.
Right. Good night, Claudia, baby. Love you. You have a good night.
Hey.
When they hit you, it hurts like hell, too, because they flying through that damn air. They got it going on now.
Good night, Claudia Neubauer. Yep. Yep. Anyways, you know, I gotta go help my wife. Our Wi-Fi's down. I don't know how the hell I'm doing my show. I'm hardwired on this computer, so I'm wondering if that's it. But she's got to use the internet.
It could be.
I've got to reboot.
Do you know what the definition of a gator is?
We like to call you Sergeant Melinda. What was that? The what?
Do you know what the definition of a gator is?
No, I don't.
Nuisance.
Oh, you mean that's all they're considered?
Yeah, they're considered a nuisance. Their brain is the size of a butter bean.
Yeah.
They ain't got a damn lick of sense.
All they do is chomp down and twist. Yeah, well, the thing is, you know what's crazy about alligator? I mean, they're actually dinosaurs. That's what they look like. They haven't even changed at all since the dinosaur days. They look the same. They might be a little smaller, but they look exactly the same. So
good night, Carla. Okay, love you, baby. The best way, if you get in front of a gator, the best way to get away from it is to run zigzag, because a gator cannot run zigzag.
Yeah. That's true.
Anyway, baby, I'm gonna get off of here. I love y'all.
That's true. They just run that. They just run straight, right? They have that little weird. They're both legs go in and then both out, both in and out. They don't run like other animals where each leg is sort of independent. You know?
No, I'm trying to remember. I think they can get up to 35 miles an hour speed on land. I'm trying to remember, but I'm gonna tell you what. You need run zigzag if whenever it gets after you.
Yeah, run at an angle. No, but you have to keep zigzagging, because if you just go at a 45-degree angle, then all of a sudden they're just on that straight line with you. So yeah, just keep zigzagging.
Damn right, zigzagging that. And down there in Louisiana, that's how we teach our kids to get away from them.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah,
awesome.
We teach them all that.
Yeah. But listen, Thanks for calling in. I'm sorry we weren't able to entice very many trolls, or any, actually, tonight. I think it's always on the weekend.
That's all right.
It's usually like on a Friday or Saturday.
We'll do that.
What's that?
We'll do that, sweetheart. Hell, he gave you $100 damn because he wanted to talk to me, but guess what? He was shit out of luck on that.
All right.
All right. I love y'all and thank y'all for the well wishes, and I'll be on here till I have my surgery, and I'll be back as soon as I can.
Yeah, well,
Darlene White, I live in Arkansas, baby.
Yeah, good luck on that one. Let me know how it goes. All right.
I will, sweetheart. Thank y'all.
Thank you. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Rebel Rose. Wow.
Hey, thanks for calling in, Rebel Rose.
Yeah. She's really cool. You know, with the alligators and everything.
Yeah.
Great observation there. Yeah, John Boy's really, he's got it all dialed in. He's really observant. Yeah. So anyways, I got to get off of here. I'll put this out tomorrow in a form that kind of loops around a little bit with the audio track in there. And then if you guys want to go out and share it around as much as possible, I'll put it in the community section too. And yeah, should be awesome. Yeah, Rebel Rose would be fun to go sit around and have a couple drinks with. No doubt about it. Yeah. Wow, thanks, Stephanie. She literally sent that in. That was amazing. Thank you very much. And also to, let's say, Melinda. Okay, not Sergeant Melinda. We'll just, everybody call her Melinda. So that's in there. And then, oh yeah, let me get to the, yeah, that was pretty good. Good night, Rebel Rose. In some ways, I wish I had got that surgery too, because I don't think I would have this problem that I'm having. And it seems like it would just free up all those. I think I was going to get 2 of them now, or something. I wouldn't even be able to turn my head, I don't think. Thanks, Dadio. Alright, so thank you to Chrissy, Claudia Neubauer, as in Claudia Neubauer, Dadio Cast Me Norses, Rock, Miss Skis, Jessica Terry, Juju Positive, Swerbs, Layla My Layla, Chrissy, Dadio Cast Me Norses, Rock, Linda Howe, Mary Wood, Lee D, Juju Positive, then Gene Fish with a cat eye donation, Berserker Loci, Rebel Rose, thank you. Mary Clark, Dadio Caspian Horses Rock, Chrissy, Amy Esselborn, Good Grandma, In the Middle of Nowhere Bear, Sean Beecham, Darrell Greggs, Good Grandma, Sean Beecham, Wicked, Bill from Miami. He wants me to play that music. It'll be coming on in a little bit. Sarah M, Bill from Miami again. Bill from Miami again. He wants to hear it. I did the EVP for him though. Nan Sullivan, Claudia Neubauer again, Dadio Caspian Horses Rock, Swerbs, and then Melinda and Stephanie on Stephanie on PayPal. Thank you. Yeah. So I apologize, Melinda, for getting like, oh my God, it's something that I've known for so long. It's just felt weird, but I know that you were saying something opposite, or you fixed it later. I just can't see every comment. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get some glasses like that. Yeah, the auction. Yeah, gotta like the auction. I don't have that open right now, but we'll do this one though. Actually, that's not working either. Oh yeah, that's right, because I had to... Oh, there it is. Chewbacca?
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Yee-hoo! Chewbacca? Oh, I think I have to have this open. Just a second. There we go. Now I got those cool sound effects. That's one of the best ones. Listen to that. Watch. I'll do a screen change. Wait a second. Isn't that awesome? Alright, everybody, make sure that you're wearing your masks, maintaining social distancing, washing your hands whenever you can. You know, I mean, if you're out in the middle of a park, you probably don't need to have a mask on. Okay? But when we get this video out tomorrow, make sure you put it out there. Hey, don't worry, Bill. We'll be playing your music anytime now. Okay, well, thank you guys very much. We'll be able to... We're gonna try to get another... My goal is to do another like $2,500 donation that I'm going to be making on the 31st, and then we'll be at 18,000 with an easy glide path into 20 for sure. We'll be over that even after November, I would say. Okay, so thank you guys very much. I hope you guys got something out of maybe that new Delphi footage that I put out here. I'll make a looping thing. It might even be 3 or 4 minutes long. I might explain it a little bit and point out things for people to look at. So, all right, everybody. So thank you guys very much for showing up tonight, and hell, I'll play that music for a while and just keep playing the loop. How about that? Instead of looking at nothing, at absolute nothingness. All right, so let me do the rap first, then we'll get to that. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Oh, and thank you, Sarah M. And until next time, be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, flag rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector.
Gonna get you, gonna stretch you, if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gringo's gonna give another lecture.
Crime collector, freak connector,
and I'm always gonna
be a pup protector, fool deflector,
interceptor. Gonna meet a little specter
with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temple fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody?
Hey, that was cool. Hey, did you see that one, John Boy? Did you see that one?
Did I see what? What are you talking about? Hello? Hello? Anybody there?
Yeah, did you see that or not?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh boy, what an idiot.
God, that's so mean. How could you call me that? Oh boy.
Wow, you're so emotional. Good night, John boy.
Good night, Mary Lou.
Wow, that was weird. Okay, good night.
Bill just loves this song, man. Cool. Well, cool. I'm glad you like it. All you guys, Kubi and Stacy, all of you guys. As in Kubachak.
do 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 do. Hey, where's Christola and Giotto Lola? I don't see Christola. I guess she's not a Jola. I don't know her. Like a false ending. Wow. Okay, everybody, that's gonna be about it tonight. Unfortunately, I'll have to turn off the computer and you won't be able to do the extra chat on the side either. What a bummer. Okay?
Yeah, thanks, Mary Lou. Jesus. Yeah, so anyways, I'm going to have to get off of here, and I'm going to have to reboot everything, so you'll lose the chat ability. So hopefully you guys got a little extra chat in there. Having some fun there, I could see. Thank you all for showing up tonight, going over those cases, going over the new Delphi video here. Hopefully it gives a whole different perspective. You know what's interesting is there's a couple frames where the coloring is absolutely the same, too. Like right there. Look at that. Look at that one. Look how crazy that is right there. You almost can't see the outline, right? Isn't that wild? Like the actual shading in that one frame is almost identical to when my friend was out there, which was on a very sunny day, identical. So there you go, everybody. Thank you for showing up. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there.